Just as expected, a lone traveler arrives on the apex of the new moon. Let me guess, you're headed north? I wouldn't do that if I were you. Terrible storms and even worse fates await those who travel the broken paths under this moon. But you're not the suspicious type, are you? What manners? No need to raise your voice. Let me remind you this is an inn and we have guests sleeping. You should follow their lead and stay, at least for a few days. What makes me qualified to say? Well, hero, I'm not just an innkeeper. I've devoted many lifetimes to the art of divination. And if you humor me for a moment, I think I can make you a believer. Oh, don't be shy. Someone foolish enough to travel the broken path shouldn't be afraid of a mere woman, unless you're inexperienced on all fronts. Come sit down with me. I got the fireplace going just for you, after all. Or do you think that's merely a coincidence, hero? Jura, fetch us some tea. When that's done, see to it that our guest's room is ready for them. How could I forget? One last room reserved for you on our busiest night. But it's all chance, you say. Thank you, dear Jura. Don't forget to take the old bedding out and lock up the back before you retire. Jasmine. My favorite. Or should I say our favorite? Right, hero? Who am I? Your mortal mind cannot understand what I am. However, you may call me Kai. I've seen empires rise and fall. I've acted as a consort to kings and queens, tyrants and revolutionaries. I'm sure you've heard of the Battle of Three Houses. What wars start with a whisper? Do you care to listen to that voice, hero? Still skeptical? Well, I'm in the business of divination, not persuasion. I think your friends could have used some advice before they stormed that abandoned breach. How do I know about that? Give me your hand. I can tell you so much more. Such a pretty palm with so many secrets for me to unveil. Yes, quite smooth for someone dubbing themselves the Rogue Knight. It's obvious you weren't trained in the art of combat. Just as I thought. Water hands. No. No. They're not made out of water. Each hand is different, and palm reading has more to do than simply looking at and interpreting the various lines adorning your hand. Look at the shape of your fingers, their length. Yes, that is 100% a water hand. You're no knight. You're an artist. Definitely the creative sort, just like myself. People like us tend to have great intuition, and yet you act against this nature. I think you know what you're doing is unwise. You come from afar with the quest in mind. The desire for revenge for your fallen comrade stirs you to action, but your palm doesn't lie. Look at the base of your index finger. This is the mark of someone highly impulsive. Your emotions often take hold of you, and plenty of times have put you in unfavorable situations. Do you really think charging in alone to avenge your friends is wise? I did not mean to insult you, but if you have an issue or you're displeased, perhaps it's because I speak the truth. Let us move on. This line here. Yes, it's a complete through line. You carry great wisdom within you. Now that's something, isn't it? Now, I wouldn't really call you the wisest in the land, but you have some common sense. Based on that middle finger base, I can see determination and perseverance. It must be what brought you here this unholy hour. I mean, you have heard the stories, haven't you? If you stray from the road, the darkness might take you. I can assure you, you do not want to meet that fate. Many travelers thought it wise to either cut through the forest to places unexplored. Others would hear voices and follow them. The lucky ones are probably dead. Those who survived have now long lost their minds to the darkness. Has this been the convincing you need? You're a terrible liar. You stepped into this inn because you wanted a reason not to go forward. Against it all, that wisdom won over your impulsiveness. Your want for revenge is just guilt. This isn't your battle. You're a last-second conscript, not a knight. When you tried to flee your assignment at the breach, those you were supposed to be with perished, and now you wander alone. There is greatness in you, and you will never know it if you take that pass tonight. Well, I'll be retiring for the night. Your palm still tells me so much more about your destiny, hero. But if you want to know it, come meet me here tomorrow morning. Stay here. And if you wanted me to show you a few other things, my door is open tonight.